you will answer in your testimony. This section deals with the state use of federal hardest hit funds for distressed borrowers. Can California programs contribute significantly to foreclosure relief? And having said that, I know that we have quite a bit of money that we have kicked off for different programs that we will hear about. In particularly, I want to hear what have been the challenges of developing the principal reduction program. We heard some of that with the earlier panel. And is there anything that we can do as legislators to assist in your efforts in making these programs more successful? And for 1LA, I'd like to ask you to speak about the program, the principal reduction program that you have, what have also been your challenges, and if you would tell us how you have succeeded in implementing this program. Thank you.
So the first speaker is going to be from the Housing, California Housing Finance Agency.
Chris, and thank you to the chairs for inviting us. Just a very quick background. I know you want to get to questions and the conversational tone here quickly, but in March of 2010, we received a call out of the blue, really, from U.S. Treasury. Would you like to have a substantial sum of money for foreclosure prevention? And that was an easy question to answer, of course. They said they were thinking about it. That was on a Thursday. The next day, on Friday, the president announced the program at a event in Las Vegas. They were for 5 states originally, a $1.5 billion program originally. That was expanded to 10 states. More money was provided to 18 states for unemployment. All this took place between March and about October. In the end, California received somewhere just under $2 billion for programs that Treasury wanted, designed to address a couple different programs, or a couple of objectives. One, the overall objectives are sustainable homeownership mortgage payments. They wanted us to be focusing on the unique problems in our own state, and for us it was unemployment and underwater mortgages. What we heard in the conversations we had with counselors, with individuals who came to several meetings we had and phone calls we had with servicers and counselors alike, that process was a concern. Borrowers would contact servicers. They would contact different people each time. They would talk to different centers in different parts of the country, and time would lapse, documents would go out of date, and they would have to start the process all over again. That was a problem. The other was that they were told no on the HAMP qualifications or proprietary loan modification programs that servicers had. They were told no because they could not qualify because they were unemployed, they were too far behind on their payments, and they were underwater, and there was no such thing as a principal reduction program at the time. So we put together a program with 4 elements: an unemployment program, which we just rolled out 2 weeks ago, a reinstatement program that provides assistance for up to $15,000 if you're behind in your payments. The third is a principal reduction program, and a fourth is a relocation assistance program if you just can't make the payment and can't qualify, and you want to do a short sale or a deed in lieu, and you need assistance in relocating to a new location. So those are the programs in a nutshell. These programs were approved in June, and then we worked with Treasury to get the final points made. We've been working with servicers to get them on board, to hire a central processing vendor who's located here in California. They're here today. And to have a place where borrowers just deal with one 800 number. They always talk to the same group. They're located in Riverside. And we tried to simplify the process as much as we could. We tried to turn as many of those no yes. This program is a borrower assistance program. It is not a loan modification in and of itself. It does require servicer participation on the principal reduction portion. We believe that when that rolls out in next Monday, statewide, they'll be very, very successful. I believe so far we've had 1,000 individuals in the unemployment program go past the initial triage, and they're talking to counselors and in the process of deciding what portion of the unemployment program works best for them. And we think that kind of volume will continue on into the next 3 elements of the program that come out on Monday. So with that, that's just a quick overview. I know you may have some questions down the line.
Thank you. Before we proceed.
Oh, okay, so he is the executive director of the California Housing Finance Agency, a California state agency, and the 4 steps. They're actually there's more information on page 3 and 4 of your handout, including the website and including the telephone numbers, how to apply, the agencies that are the banks that are participating. And then the next speaker is going to be a pastor, and he's part of 1LA, and that's an agency that California gave about $10 million to a nonprofit agency in LA to implement that program in Los Angeles, as opposed to the whole state of California.
For the panel,
Father Tom Frank.
Is that we did invite the financial agencies to share in this panel, but that request was declined. That's why you don't see them in front. Next, we will hear from Father Frank, who is the pastor at St. Bridget's Catholic Church in Yvonne, Maria Jimenez.
Good afternoon, Chairwoman Norma Torres and all the remaining chairmen and members of this committee. I'm Father Tom Frank. I'm pastor of St. Bridget's Catholic Church in South Los Angeles and an institutional member of 1LA Industrial Areas Foundation. I've been a leader in the IAF organizations around several cities, major cities, Baltimore, Washington, Houston, for 20 years, engaged with families across this country, working with government, business, faith-based institutions, and other key stakeholders to implement solutions to the ills that affect all of our communities. I am appearing before you on behalf of thousands of families residing in Los Angeles, South Los Angeles communities especially, who are at risk of losing their homes, and in particular, have lost their homes. St. Bridget has 800 plus families, accounting for more than 1,300 parishioners. Over half are African American, 45% are Hispanic. For nearly 4 years, I've seen the heart-wrenching suffering of many of Los Angeles families, including my own parishioners, who've lost and continue to be at risk at losing their homes. I've witnessed the hand-to-hand combat over 1LA institutions. Our 1LA institutions have used to ensure the banks follow the federal mandates in order to achieve meaningful loan modifications, which will keep our families in their homes. The fact is, efforts by banks to help homeowners at risk of losing their homes have only focused on temporary modification fixes, such as interest reduction and then the extension of loan terms, which you've already heard about, that ultimately really put off the day of reckoning. Banks executives have criticized loan modification proposals that call for the systemic reduction of loan principal in markets plagued by severe negative equity. They say it will create a moral hazard, and they claim this moral hazard will encourage more people to stop paying their mortgages, which our member here has already referred to, Assemblyman Bradford, I believe. In truth, the moral hazard only occurs when a party insulated from risk behaves differently than it would behave if it were fully exposed to the risk. The fact is, homeowners are specifically targeted, have been specifically targeted in working class communities of color with loan scams of the worst kind, and have been saddled with unconscionable levels of risk. And not only have they been scammed, but they've